Girivaradhari. Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari. Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana. Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana. Yamuna Tira Valachari. Yamuna Tira Valachari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Radha Madhava Radhe. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Rama. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Hare Hare Bal, Hare Bal, Hare Bal, Hare Bal. Jaya Gauranita, 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 Jaya Gauranita. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Prabhupada. Jayam Vishnupad Paramahansa Parivajagacharya Ashtottara Satasvi Srimad His Divine Grace Abhay Charanara Vinda Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki ISKCON Founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada Ki Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrindagi Prem Se Kaho Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shiva Sadi Gaura Bhakta Vrindagi Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Srila Prabhupada Ki Prabhupada Anuga Ki Samaveta Bhakta Vrinda Ki Nitai Gaur Premanande. All glories assembled devotees, all glories assembled devotees, all glories assembled devotees, all glories, all glories, all glories to Shri Shri Guru and Gauranga, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. 20. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Daivim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Udirayet. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 2, Chapter 9, Text 20. Answers by citing the Lord's version. Text 20. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Dvayaham Toshitah Samyag Vedagarbha Sisrikshaya Chiram Pratena Tapasa Dushto Shah Kuta Yoginam Please repeat. Shri Bhagavanuvacha. Tvayaham toshitah samyaga Vedagarbhasya srikshaya Chiram pratena tapasa Dushto sahakuta yoginam Shri Bhagavanuvacha Tvayaham toshitah samyaga Vedagarbhasya srikshaya Chiram britena tapasa Dushtosham kuta yoginam Shri Bhagavanuvacha Tvayaham toshitah samyaga Vedagarbhasya srikshaya Chiram britena tapasa Dushtoshah kuta yoginam. Ladies, Matajis, Shri Bhagavanuvacha, the all-beautiful personality of Godhead said, Tvaya, by you, Aham, I am, Toshitaha, pleased, Samyak, complete, Vedagarbha, impregnated with the Vedas, Sisrikshaya, for creating, Chiram, for a long time, Pritena, accumulated, Tapasa, by penance, Dushtoshaha, very hard to please, Kuta Yoginam, for the pseudo-mystics. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki. Translation: the beautiful personality of Godhead addressed Lord Brahma. O Brahma, impregnated with the Vedas, I am very much pleased with your long accumulated penance, with a desire for creation. Hardly am I pleased with the pseudo-mystics. There are two kinds of penance, one for sense gratification and the other for self-realization. There are many pseudo-mystics who undergo severe penances for their own satisfaction, and there are others who undergo severe penances for the satisfaction of the senses of the Lord. For example, the penances undertaken to discover nuclear weapons will never satisfy the Lord, because such a penance is never satisfactory. By nature's own way, everyone has to meet death, and if such a process of death is accelerated by anyone's penances, there is no satisfaction for the Lord. The Lord wants every one of his parts and parcels to attain eternal life and bliss by coming home to Godhead. And the whole material creation is meant for that objective. Brahma underwent severe penances for the purpose, namely to regulate the process of creation so that the Lord might be satisfied. Therefore the Lord was very much pleased with him. And for this Brahma was impregnated with Vedic knowledge. The ultimate purpose of Vedic knowledge is to know the Lord and not to misuse the knowledge for any other purposes. Those who do not utilize Vedic knowledge for that purpose are known as Kuta Yogis or pseudo-transcendentalists, who spoil their lives with ulterior motives. Om Tat Sat. Om Jnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Dhyena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kada Mahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guruho Shri Yutak Padakamalam Shri Gurum Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatan Vitam Tang Sajivam Sadvaitam Sabadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padhan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakan Vitamscha Namahom Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jayasi Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Here in this chapter called Answers by Citing the Lord's Version, Brahma, after his tapasya, is meeting with the Lord, physically meeting with the Lord, and he sees how beautiful the Lord is. This is creation going to happen, and only two people are there in the entire universe, God and Brahma. And Brahma has meditated according to the instruction of Krishna. Tapaha, he has given instruction and he has meditated. And the fruit of that meditation, fruit of that tapasya, is that the Lord is pleased with him and is going to invest in him, embed in him knowledge. Then he will speak the Chatushloki Bhagavatam that we have heard. So, this is Brahma is offering his prayers because he is able to see the Lord, take darshan of him, which is the fruit of his tapasya. He was asked to do tapasya, he did tapasya, he got to see the Lord, and then he saw the Lord, he got seva to do, he did the seva. This is the sequence of events. That is, initially he did not know what to do. He found himself existing in this world. He had an existential experience. But you can imagine nobody else was there. To understand the purpose of life, why I am existing, why I am conscious, who am I, and there is nobody else around. Right? So you must be very strong to not go mad and run around. But actually, he took this instruction from Krishna. Krishna told him, Tapa, perform tapasya, and gave him the understanding for that. In this way, he performed tapasya according to instruction and inspiration. And the fruit of it was that he was able to get darshan of the Lord. Right? That's also mentioned in the Bhagavatam and other places. Chetayate ranavratam sthitam sattve prasiddhati vidyate hridaya grantis chidyate sarva samshayaha kshiyate cha asya karmani drishtayevatmanishware. You will be actually able to see the truth. Who are you? Who is God? What's the relationship? You can take drishta. You can see. You will get into full realization. So this is a process. Brahma has followed the process. And Krishna is going to speak to him the absolute truth. So before that, Sri Bhagavan Uvacha, the Lord is addressing after Brahma's prayers and glorification. The Lord is addressing, and that is what is his verse. The beautiful personality of Godhead addressed Lord Brahma. O Brahma, impregnated with the Vedas, I am very much pleased with your long accumulated penance, with the desire for creation. Hardly am I pleased with the pseudo-mystics. This, I presume, is the background from my recollection. Tene Brahma Hridayadi Kaviye Muhyanti Yat Sureyha. Krishna is manifesting the Vedas, knowledge of the Vedas, and the essence of the Vedas in the heart of Brahma. And that these are all very high-class, sophisticated pastimes happening before the creation. And this is the reason why, this is the beginning, the cause, and everything is happening from there onwards. So, Krishna is Sarva Karana Karanam, and he is empowering Brahma to do creation. And from that creation, everything will happen. Vishnu will also manifest himself, and in this way this world will get populated through the Prajapatis. Although today they are talking a lot about all these things, nobody understands how things happened, how creation occurred, and with little knowledge or no knowledge, everybody speculates and they say all sorts of things and people believe. But here we see such a wonderful discussion. God is speaking, Krishna is speaking, and Brahma, who is invested with the understanding of how to do things, is doing according to that, and everything is manifesting itself. I don't know how people put so much faith in their own understanding, their own speculation. Individuality should be there, but we should know the difference between speculating and independent thinking to arrive at the absolute truth. These are two different things. It's very interesting how you think and come to conclusion. Because Brahma will later get very bewildered while doing his seva. And he will get involved in that famous stealing of the cows, calves and the gopas. And he will regret it later. Then he will again come to Krishna and say that although people think that they know you, I think I don't know you. I don't know. Let them say what they want, but I understand that I don't know. And by your mercy I have come to know. This is the way that knowledge is attained. So here Krishna is addressing Brahma very respectfully. And in the purport we heard um, ultimate purpose of Vedic knowledge is to know the Lord and not to misuse the knowledge for any other purposes. This morning I was reading Prabhupada's. Is there any reason why the volume is very low? Is the volume low? You can hear. You can hear. Yeah, why have you reduced it so much? I'm struggling to. So, in the morning I'm reading a conversation of Western philosophers with Prabhupada. Gottfried Wilhelm Leibniz. Anybody who's done mathematics knows Leibniz theorem and Leibniz was saying calculus and all that. A very big time mathematician, but also a philosopher. And conversation, he is describing Leibniz to Prabhupada and saying he wanted to mathematically explain God. He believed the world has got a purpose and it is the purpose initiated by God. Prabhupada immediately said, very nice. He's praising Leibniz. Very nice. He has got a correct understanding. This is a German philosopher come mathematician, Leibniz. He has got a correct understanding that there is a purpose in this world. And that purpose is given by the Lord through His scripture and explanation. This is the purpose. This is what is to be achieved by human life and all the creation that is being done. So, Brahma knows the purpose, otherwise he can't do creation. You want to create something, what is it that he is creating? Not that he is building something, not that he is in the lab finding out something, or he can, say that I did it, not like that. He is creating, and whatever he is creating has a purpose. And that purpose is for the welfare of humankind and for all sorts of jivas, so that they will all go back to Godhead and join up with Krishna again. This is the purpose. For that reason creation is made. And Brahma is helping in making that happen. In other words, the creation will be utilized for the sake of realizing God. This is the right way to utilize God's creation. All the facilities we have, including the human body, other bodies that other creatures have, all the other facilities, the sun, the moon, the valleys and hills and minerals and plants and flowers and fruits and grains and everything provided by the Lord, is meant for finally realizing God and re-establishing your relationship with Him. And going back to the spiritual world, living in harmony with Krishna. This is the purpose. And this purpose is going to be met with through the creation. And all conditioned souls who have separated themselves from this purpose are going to be trained, are going to practice and become paka and get liberated, go back to Godhead, back into their constitutional position. There is a purpose for this world. There is a purpose for human life. There is a purpose for anybody's life. This has to be understood. But what we are taught is something else. Right from the very young, we are taught sense gratification is the purpose. That's why for sense gratification, they will do another type of penance. Prabhupada starts the purport by saying there are two types of penance, one for sense gratification, one for the gratification of the senses of Hare. Hrishikesha, his senses should be satisfied. He should be satisfied. He should be pleased. That is the purpose of my life. Not that I will please my senses. And that's what my life's purpose is. These are diametrically opposite. Whenever we do an activity for sense gratification, you will understand, especially if you're a devotee who wants to please the Lord, who wants to be involved in devotional service, you can get very uncomfortable if you're very serious about spiritual life. Whenever you do anything in sense gratification, even very subtle, you become very uncomfortable. You know it, this is not correct. Because Krishna will tell you, this is not correct. When Madhavendra Puri desired to taste the kheer while the offering was going, he immediately knew I have done something wrong. That was the sensitivity, his high level of sensitivity in devotional service. I cannot desire bhoga that is going, I want to eat that. But his desire was, I will eat that and taste it so that I can make it like that and offer it to the Lord whom I worship in Vrindavan, Gopala. I have just discovered him. That is good intention. But the desire to taste it, he had. And instantly he felt very bad about it. It's wrong. His spiritual life was so high class, so sophisticated. And a little bit of gratification, which is also meant for Krishna, came into his mind. Immediately he felt uncomfortable. He left the place. This is bad. I don't want this. He left the place, sat down somewhere far away under some and started chanting Hare Krishna. Things are going wrong with me. This is not good. But the Lord, of course, understood the sensitivity, and because of his relationship with Madhavendra Puri, he reached the kheer to him. But the point here is sensitivity towards something that is gratificatory for me. While I must simply do anything and everything for the gratification of the Lord. That's the meaning of life. That's the meaning of devotional service. Right? So, in the sadhana stage, we want both this and that. We want to continue our gratification, at least a little less organized way. Okay, within Varnashrama, I want to have that. That's called Varnashrama. In a very organized, limited way with some boundaries on it, you are allowed to, because the main purpose of life is to Om Tad Vishnu Paramam Padam Sada Pashyanti Suraya Diviva Chakshura Tatam Tat Vipraso Vipinyavo Jagruvagum Sasamindate Vishnu Ryat Paramam Padam. Reaching the supreme lotus feet of Vishnu is the purpose of life. That is known. So, okay, since you know that theoretically, and since you have the force and desire of gratification from many lifetimes, limited boundary you have, within this you can enjoy. But don't forget the purpose is this. Vishnu Ryat Paramam Padam. In this way, they are asked to have some enjoyment, but very soon that type of restricted enjoyment is not worth doing it. They understand, better fully absorb myself in Krishna consciousness, service to the Supreme. So, when a person learns to revel, enjoy serving the Supreme, and keep seeing that he is happy, that is perfection of life. Then you have met the purpose of life. If each one of us is able to feel inside happy because the Lord is pleased, then your life is perfect. You are actually in a very good situation. This is not a mechanical thing. This is actually from inside, consciously you feel, and you can feel it. Why? Because you are part and parcel of Krishna. Jivere Swarupa hoy Krishnere Nitya Dasa. Since you are always a servant of Krishna, serving Krishna comes naturally to you. Serving Krishna naturally brings happiness to you. So the sadhana means we don't know that and we are performing. Shri Jagannath Paladev Subhadramai ki. We don't know that and we are performing, and gradually we get value for that and we start doing it, and then slowly you get a taste for it, and this way you become fixed in that, back in your constitutional position. Conditional life, sadhana, when you are actually performing for getting that taste revived, all these stages are challenging stages because you don't have full taste yet. You don't have full taste. Therefore, the purpose, although it may be known, we are not able to act fully with that purpose in mind. That is why Brahma Vimohana Leela, it is mentioned that Krishna induced that moha in Brahma. Because Brahma was very, very intelligent, very well informed. He knew that this is the purpose of life, and he was executing it with tapasya and control and everything else. And when he got bewildered and he did this activity, he became very remorseful. One example is Madhavendra Puri, the other example is Brahma himself, who is a recipient of knowledge here. He himself did this, and he understood, how could I have done this after understanding all these things about Krishna? Very remorseful, right? So sense gratification will no more be enjoyable if you get to know Krishna and you get to know devotional service. Although you may be tripped into it sometime by force of habit for this, it will no more be enjoyable. You're lost completely. This is the amazing thing about Krishna consciousness. And in Krishna consciousness also you may not be settled very well. So it's like Trishunku Swarga. You lost the taste for this and now you cannot indulge in it. And on the other side, you're not very good in this, in enjoying Krishna consciousness also. So you can have a certain anxiety, but that anxiety is considered to be good. It is healthy anxiety. You're lost between two worlds. On the one side, you're not very pakwa. I mean, that's a very nice shloka in the Bhagavatam. Tyaktva swadharmam charanam bhujam harer bhajan apakko atapate tato yadi yatrakva va bhadram abhut amushyakim kovarta apta abhajato abhajatam what is that? Swadharmataha. So very beautiful shloka in the Bhagavatam analyzes this and says, don't worry. It consoles you by saying, Tyaktva swadharmam charanam bhujam harer. You gave up your dharma, your duties, material, everything, and you said Krishna is everything for me, and you embrace Krishna. But bhajan apakkavo atapate tato yadi. And you were not able to do devotional service properly also, because you are a beginner in that. But you gave up this fully, and you are a beginner in that. And because of that, you have some fall down. Let us say, patet yadi, okay, it happened. So what? The Bhagavatam is saying, so what? It is far, far better than having done your material duties perfectly and enjoyed sense gratification and not have done anything in devotional service. Koapta abhajatam swadharmataha. Abhajatam means without serving the Supreme Lord, you do all the duties alone very nicely. That is not very good. It is better to give up everything and attempt and fail. That is many times better. If you know the purpose of life, this is what you will judge. This is what you will judge. So in this way, a devotee performs devotional service and gradually purifies himself to understand, as long as you are happy, my Lord, I have achieved the purpose of life. Right? I am doing to please Hari Toshanam Atapumbhir Dvijasreshta Varnashrama Vibhagashaha Swanushtitasya Dharmasya Samsiddhir Hari Toshanam. Hari Toshana means, Tosha means to please. Hari Toshana means pleasing Hari is our main job. Are you happy? We should be able to ask Krishna, I hope you are happy with my seva. I hope you are accepting my seva. And if Krishna is pleased, and if he shows you are pleased, then you should be very, very happy. You should be very happy. Right? Purpose of life, executing that purpose, and getting acknowledgement from Krishna that I am pleased with you. Here, Krishna is pleased with Brahma. He is saying this, I am pleased with you. I am very much pleased with your long accumulated penance with the desire for creation. So if Krishna is pleased, then he will bestow his mercy on you. How to please Krishna is a question many people ask practically. Krishna is very pleased if you serve his pure devotee. When you serve his devotee, Krishna becomes very pleased. That's very important for us to know. Not that Krishna is not in front of me, I am not qualified to see Krishna, I am very small sadhaka. How will I know Krishna has been pleased by me? So the way is that if you please Vaishnava by your seva, then Krishna is pleased. That is, every morning we are singing that in the Guru Ashtakam, that if the Guru is pleased, then Krishna is pleased. If the Vaishnava is pleased, then Krishna is pleased. Like this we can know, this is a way to find out. The opposite of that is that we don't want to displease the Lord, we don't want to displease the Guru, we don't want to displease the Vaishnavas. We should not conduct ourselves in such a way that will displease them. So we conduct ourselves in such a way that is pleasing to them. And they are not foolish people that you can please them very casually by giving them some sense gratification or some material things, that they'll be very pleased with you. They will be pleased with you when you serve Krishna sincerely. They will be pleased with you if you worship Krishna, advance in your devotional service. They are pleased with you. Because this is the purpose of life and you are doing it very nice. Because rarely do people do these things. Rarely do people do these things. So, if Krishna is pleased and you act in such a way that Krishna is pleased, then you are most fortunate. We can all imagine how much Krishna will be pleased with Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada for spreading Bhagavad Gita's information all over the world, publishing Bhagavad Gita in so many languages, publishing Bhagavatam in so many languages, having Krishna consciousness spoken in all sorts of languages, and people of those cultures understanding Krishna consciousness. What a deep penetration, and all sorts of facilities made for that. Establishing centers, publishing the books in their language, speaking in their language, entering their heart through their language and establishing Krishna consciousness there, and then there's devotees practicing it. All this has become possible by one person's effort, plan, vision. Krishna will be very pleased with Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. No doubt about that. Right? He executed it. So it is not that we should think, oh, he's a pure devotee, naturally it will be successful for him. He's a pure devotee, he can do it. He is blessed to do it. The converse of that you're thinking is, I don't have to do it. I don't have to attempt it. Why? I am not pure devotee. So I cannot do it. It will not happen for me. In this way I keep quiet. I don't do it. And this is very subtle catch. No, you're not pure devotee, but you simply do what Prabhupada asks you to do. It is not that you should do only if you are pure devotee. No, you just do. You just attempt and you do. Chant 16 rounds a day, come for Mangalarati, see the Lord, distribute his books, read his books, honor prasadam, remain in the association of devotees, preach Krishna consciousness to others to the extent that you can. All these things are doable. And it has been given instruction to you that you must do this. And we should simply do. And you may not be founder acharya of another institution. It's not required. This has already taken that position. You may not become a great devotee. It does not matter. Very famous on social media and everything. does not matter. But since you are doing it, the Lord will be pleased. Prabhupada will be pleased. A genuine Vaishnava will be very pleased. Since you are doing it, Jashmin tushte jagat tushta. And if Guru is pleased, Vaishnava is pleased, the Lord is pleased, then everybody will be pleased. That's what the Shastra says. If the Lord is pleased, everybody will become pleased automatically. It will be a peaceful society. So that is why God-conscious society is the ultimate solution. That is why we must take this very seriously. What instructions Krishna gives to Brahma and how Brahma executes it. We should understand correctly and we should execute it. That's why it's important to understand so that you can act properly. That's why we ask questions and understand, and we have some other ideas in our head about certain things. We can clarify it. Because we should act properly. If you act properly, it works. It's a process that works. It's a science that works. So Brahma is a brilliant example of that. He will do exactly what like Krishna told him, and this whole world will get populated. So many living entities will come into being and they will start acting, and inside this, persons like Bhakti Vedanta Swami Prabhupada will come and he will teach everybody Krishna consciousness and make their life successful. In this way, the whole purpose of creation becomes well worth it. Krishna becomes pleased. Why? Through this creation, through Brahma, and through such great sages like Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, it was fully utilized. And many people went back to Godhead. It's worth it. It's a good, endeavor. So, that is why all our cooperation is required in it. This is not the time to speculate. This is not the time to float new theories to understand what it is. Like a lot of discussion is going on. Our system was patriarchal from the beginning. It is only the male members who were given all the chance to do things. It was no equality. Now we want to have patriarchal and matriarchal both. Give both the chance to do it. But very clearly Bhagavatam says it's a patriarchal society. Prajapati means patriarch. Prajapati means father. Right? And it's only the fathers who have been asked to come and populate the universe. And they married somebody who helped. But it's a patriarchal society, it's mentioned. Prajapatis we are coming from. We're all coming from the Prajapatis. Kardama Muni is a Prajapati. All these great people, Swayambhuva Manu, Prajapati, all of them are very keen on populating the universe. And that is the reason why the four Kumaras had argument with Brahma. Daksha Prajapati had argument with Narada Muni saying, I am doing this and you are disturbing me. I have been asked to do this. All sorts of conversations come up. It's a patriarchal society. And they are all patriarchs. Prajapati means patriarch, the English translation Prabhupada uses. And creation did not occur through matriarchal society. So what is the problem? Because it's not about matriarchal and patriarchal. It's about understanding the purpose being going back to Godhead. Whichever body you are in, even a dog can take part in it, Prabhupada says. What to speak of matriarchal and patriarchal? Even a dog can go back to Godhead. Even a dog can go back to Godhead. All these are speculations of people who don't understand. And it is not an easy thing to understand. You will understand only and only if you are contacting a devotee. Otherwise you will not understand fully. And that too, if you contact a pure devotee, then you get the proper understanding. So we may take it very easy that where everybody comes and they hear Krishna consciousness, they understand, but it's not common to understand. This is amazing, explanation Bhakti Vinoda Thakur also gives. Normally we read Madhyamadhikari, Uttamadhikari and Kanishtadhikari. We use the word Adhikari. We say, Grahastha Adhikari is, Gauranga Das Adhikari, is Kaviraj Das Adhikari, is a Grahastha, means we use the word Adhikari. The word Adhikar looks like authority. Adhikar, authority. Bhaktivinoda Thakur explains that Adhikar means the capacity to receive knowledge. And there is variation in capacities. Uttamadhikari is a person who can receive the absolute truth, can receive Krishna fully. Madhyamadhikari is limited more. Kanishtadhikari is very limited in receiving the absolute truth. Recipient. How good a recipient you are. According to that, adhikar. A person has adhikar. So Krishna consciousness is available to everybody. Veda was spoken by Krishna, given to Brahma. Brahma, that's why understood it very nicely. It's from Brahma that everybody is getting to understand. From Brahma, Narada, then Vedavyas. All of them understood according to their capacity, according to their recipient's capacity. Adhikar. So Brahma is very huge adhikari. Because based on that only he created the whole universe, that understanding. Right? So even Vedavyas had a problem in his understanding. And Narada Muni came and corrected it for him. It's because of this problem. You're feeling morose although you wrote all the Vedic literature. So we cannot use the word mistake, but there is something that was not fully done by even Vedavyas. And then after getting inspired by Narada Muni, he compiled the Bhagavatam fully and everything became complete. So even if you read the scripture, Bhaktivinoda Thakur is saying, each one will understand according to his adhikar. How much of love for Krishna you have, how much of realization you have, according to that you will understand the truth. Vedavyas had so many disciples, but not all of them understood fully. Vyasa himself has got in his Gurukula great people. He has got, Karma Mimamsa Sutras, Jaimini. He has got great Yajnavalkya. He has got all these very big philosophers, huge capacity, intellectual capacities. But they did not fully understand. They did not fully get that point. Each one of them ingested it and came out with one particular ideology. All these Shat Darshanas you have, they're not all of them are very fully understanding the theistic truth of Krishna. Then he himself composes the Vedanta Sutra in format. And that is commented upon by great acharyas, rishis and everybody. So everybody is trying to understand what is that truth. And you will grahana, you will be able to understand it according to your adhikar. So it is not that everybody will understand it. Then Bhaktivinoda Thakur goes further to say, according to your devotional service, according to your capacity, and you will be able to receive it. And what you receive only you can give. What is received? What you will give. That is why Vyasadeva, it seems, did not speak Bhagavatam to his other disciples. He waited for Shukadeva Goswami. Shukadeva Goswami had this rasa capacity. He understood everything. Then when it came out of him, it came filled with rasa. Sukhamukha damrita dravya samyutam pibata bhagavatam rasamadayam muhuraho rasika bhuvi bhavuka. If you have had rasa in you, you will understand this. It's meant for rasikas, Bhagavatam. If without rasa, if you just explain like go to Kerala, they will explain Bhagavatam completely on the basis of knowledge. Brahman, God is Brahman, Supreme Brahman, like that. There's no much rasa. In fact, nothing at all. People hear it, people chant the whole Bhagavatam and all that they do. It's all good, still very good. But if you have rasa, you will hear it in a different way. Parikshit Maharaj was endowed with rasa because he was Sukadeva Goswami's disciple, hearing from him Siksha. So he understood many things and asked questions. Sukadeva Goswami got excited. You're asking this question. Varyameshate prashna. Wonderful question you asked. Very good. That means you're understanding what I'm saying. So he also started enjoying the rasa. And that is why in the audience there was Parashara Muni also sitting, Narada Muni sitting, and Vyasadeva also sitting. Why? It is coming with rasa. It's very tasty to hear, very enjoyable to hear pastimes of Krishna. Right? They all have that adhikar to understand, and they're understanding. Devotees understand Bhagavatam in a different way. So also, even Vyasadeva, he is giving his understanding, but he happens to be incarnation of Krishna, so he'll have the correct understanding. So he's speaking to Sukadeva Goswami, he picks it up and it comes out with rasa properly. Right? So that is why here it is important to know Tene Brahma Hridayadi Kavaye. He is getting the understanding. It is by Krishna's mercy he is getting the correct understanding. Why? He is the first living being and he has qualified himself by tapasya. He is given proper understanding and Brahma takes the proper understanding. Right? That is why you will see there is a wonderful quote. Sukho veti, what is it? Vyaso veti na veti va. Aham veti, sukho veti, Vyaso veti na veti va. He says, I know. This is Lord Shiva speaking, I think. Yeah. I know, Shukadeva knows. I don't know whether Vyasadeva knows or does not know. What a statement. Bhakta grahyam, a devotee can get it, that taste and that this thing. If you have devotion for Krishna, na buddhi na tikaya, it won't come by intelligence and by commentary and all that. Okay, so this is what is happening here. Krishna is instituting the understanding. Bhakti is an option for everybody, actually, but a lot of people don't understand it in terms of bhakti, the truth. They understand it in terms of gyan, karma, yoga, and all that. So that is considered to be limited understanding. This understanding coming from Krishna to Brahma is a complete understanding. Chatushloki Bhagavatam. Ahameva sameva agre. Riteyat chatmani na pratiyeta chatmani. Krishna will explain what is the reality. Who am I? Who are you? What is going on? And in 4 shlokas, it's called Chatushloki Bhagavatam. And Brahma understands the full reality and everything he understands. Who is Krishna? What is happening? Everything. So that is why it is important that the tapasya performed by Brahma is very important. He did it nicely. And he became qualified to receive the mercy from Krishna to create and make this material manifestation fully vibrant so that many living entities can come here. And the main thing is to understand this. What Krishna spoke to Brahma in his heart. That is what is propagated throughout. And it is you should not think that it's an option to understand. The option is you understand it through bhakti, but you must understand it. You must try to understand it. Atato Brahma Jignasa. Purpose of life is to ask these questions and understand it. You may not get a full understanding. You may be an understanding like a yogi, a karmi, jnani and all that. But everybody must make an attempt to understand. That you must do. There is no option for that. Otherwise you become an animal. You must make an effort to understand. But you may grahana, you may absorb it according to your adhikara. So all these things very nicely explained by Prabhupada in his purports. We are understanding the understanding of Prabhupada. This is very important to know. Sometimes my personal opinion is that people refer to Shastra directly. If you go now and open this so-and-so Shastra, Vishnu Yamala Purana, and try to read, or open the Manu Samhita and try to read, it is not so easy for you to understand. Of course, you will understand it on the basis of how you have read Prabhupada's books till now, that with that boldness and with that courage only you are trying to. On your own, if you have not read even Prabhupada's books, will you open the Manu Samhita and be able to understand anything? You don't even know I am not this body. You will not understand anything, therefore you never read it. That's the point. But now you can understand by you know the basics, matter, spirit, philosophy, some theology, everything you know. So you may read it. But that doesn't mean what understanding you will get will be the correct understanding. It's important to know. That doesn't mean what understanding you will get will be the correct understanding. Why? I'm a devotee. I do the sadhana. I have read Prabhupada's books. But it won't be so easy unless you read it in terms of Prabhupada's books. So actually, the important realization I had is we are understanding Shastra on the basis of how Prabhupada has interpreted Shastra to us. We cannot independently go and understand Shastra unless you are also a person who is very liberated and high class like Prabhupada. That is possible. Because it's limited according to your adhikar. And our adhikar is coming from reading and understanding Prabhupada's books based on the instructions he has given. Here is a direct transmission going on between Krishna and Brahma. But for us it is not like that. Krishna is there to help the understanding as Antaryami Guru. But Prabhupada told as a Stapakacharya, read my books. Then you will get the understanding. If you don't understand, read it again, he told. If you still don't understand, read it again and again. These are his instructions. You will understand it. He is giving instruction that if you read it again and again, you will understand it. This is very amazing. You can understand the absolute truth, Krishna, through Prabhupada's books. I may sound like a fanatic, but this is the science that is explained here also. If you independently try to read Shastra, no, you may go off. Sometimes I feel devotees jump into all these things on their own, and then they develop a different view, and which they think is right. Which they think is right. But this is what happened. Shat Darshanas of Vyasadev's disciples. Kannada, Kapila, Jaimini, what is it? Kapila, what is it? Yajnavalkya, all of them. They all very nice, wonderful people doing tapasya, everything. They had their own understanding of the truth spoken to them. So I think it is an important point to understand that Prabhupada said, read my books. And he went ahead to say, when they asked him, what will happen after you die? He said, I will never die. I will live in my books and you will utilize. Utilize for what? To understand the truth. Understand Krishna. You will utilize. Everybody will utilize this. That is why it got a different dimension of importance to align ourselves in a particular way. That is why I think Teni Brahma Hridayadi Kavaye That is here in these books, in the purports of Prabhupada. You get that exactly as it is. That is why Prabhupada has called the Bhagavad Gita as it is. You will get that same inspiration, same understanding like Arjuna got. The same inspiration, same understanding like Brahma got. Directly Krishna is telling him. That you will get. That is why it's called as it is. But it is not commonly available. It is not so easy. Even Vyasadev's disciples, some of them didn't get it. You can imagine how important it is. That is why Prabhupada is very special. Of course, generally we can say he's a pure devotee. There are many pure devotees. Madhavendra Puri, Baladev Vidyabhushan did that. This is not all thing we can say. But in modern times, Prabhupada is current, even available now. Is the founder Acharya. So this understanding that Brahma is getting, you can also get. You simply have to follow what Prabhupada said. This being simple and following, is a great asset. It doesn't mean that you are an idiot who is not independently thoughtful. You must know where to be independently thoughtful and where not to be. For running the organization and doing many things, Prabhupada said, we need independently thoughtful Brahmanas. Because for Varnashrama, for governance, all that, it's required. For understanding pure devotional service also, you need to be independently thoughtful about what you're reading and get your own realization. Bhaktivinoda Thakur makes a statement that each one has got his own realization of the truth. And you must go by it. You must go by it. And Prabhupada encouraged us to write your realization. And he said you should comment and write your realization. So, our understanding is unique to us. It is based on our sadhana, like he did penance. It is based on our true, sincere execution of devotional service as per the founder's instructions. If you have these simple things, sincerity, capacity to follow, penance, sadhana, education, it happens. This is a system set up by Prabhupada to understand the truth using his books. Not a small thing. It's not happening like what you study in the college there. The system is based on your faith, based on purity, based on sincerity, and simply understanding directly what Prabhupada has mentioned in his instructions. And when you get the topmost understanding and knowledge, this is a real great offer actually. And it's coming in the form of Prabhupada's books, coming in the form of the holy name, Harinam Sankirtan, the association of Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Om Tat Sat. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Any question or comment? A relevant shloka is Krishna saying, what is it? Jnanam Paramaguhyam Me. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha, in the same chapter, and text 31 is, Jnanam Paramaguhyam Me Yad Vijnana Samanvitam Sa Rahasyam Cha Angam Cha Grahana Gaditam Maya. The personality of God said, knowledge about me as described in the scriptures is very confidential and it has to be realized in conjunction with devotional service. The necessary paraphernalia for that process is being explained by me. You may take it up carefully. This is the translation. Grahana Gaditam Maya. And he is warning that knowledge about me is very confidential, which means it's not easily available, which means you won't understand it so easily. Jnanam me paramaguhyam. Very confidential. Not available to everybody. Not available to everybody. I think that's an important point. Any question or comment? Om Tat Sat. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Nitai Gaur Premanande.